welcome to Joburg Flavored Podcast, popularly known as JF.
JF, add more flavor.
I'll be your host today. My name is Ketsiwe Ndlovu. We are on Relationship Thursday. Our guest today is Magethandeka Dlamini, who is going to be handling a very interesting topic on how to keep the spark alive in your relationship. Welcome, Mage Dlamini.
Thank you, Ketsiwe. Thank you for having me on the show.
It's lovely to have you, Mage. Personally, I would think how difficult it is to keep a relationship alive, just a basic relationship, the normal relationship, the courting part of a relationship. And I can't imagine how more challenging it is to keep a marriage alive, a relationship in a marriage alive, because you're facing this person for the rest of your life. You have this person in your life for the rest of your life, and God forbid, till death do your part, maybe. So I'll open the floor to you, Mage Dlamini, and you will take over with your talk for today.
Thank you. You are right that forever, I always tell people that forever is a bit too long sometimes. And that is why it's very important that when you do get into a relationship, and most importantly, a marriage, you do it with your friend. I've been married for 16 years, and one of the things that have kept our relationship and our spark alive is the friendship element. I think we started off as being friends before we started courting or even talking about marriage. So that foundation of friendship was developed at an early age, and we have been that in the past. I guess it's 19 years, because we were together for 3 years before getting married, and now we're married for 16 years.
Okay.
So I think for me, the biggest foundation I think everyone should have, if you aspire to have a continuous spark in your marriage, is the friendship element. I think sometimes we then get too serious.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we get too formal, and then things just get boring, and it goes downhill from there.
It's like being a class. When everything gets serious, you get bored.
Yes.
You get bored and you get tired.
Yes, so that's very, very important. I think the friendship time away, I think me and my husband, for instance, we've got jokes that we would tell, only the two of us understand what we're saying.
Yeah,
we've got our own code. We've got our own crazy jokes that only us understand because of that friendship.
Okay.
So I think that works. And then also time away. I'm in corporate, he's also busy. Like, we're just busy people. He's a pastor, there's church, and there's life. We've got 2 boys who are extremely full of life, so we get busy with them as well. So in the midst of all of that, it is very easy to forget each other and focus on everything else other than yourselves.
Yeah.
So we have, in our relationship, there are times that we have set aside each year to say, on our anniversary, we go away. On our birthdays.
Go away together.
Together, just the two of us, without the kids.
Okay.
On our birthdays, we go away together. Fortunately, we share the same birthday month, so we're able to structure that getaway in that manner. And then we also have scheduled holidays with the kids, but we also have time for just us.
Very interesting points you have mentioned there, Mage Dlamini. I just want to comment on your first point about the friendship element in a relationship, especially in a marriage. I think that it's very, very important, as you have elaborated, and I second you on that, because take for, people like saying, hey, utawuhlala njani nemuntu munye, nibe nisuke emakhaya in different backgrounds, emakhaya lahlukile, anadani, you're strangers, and then you come and live together. How are you going to manage the marriage, the relationship? So Malta, when you need to build and continue being friends and starting over all the time, starting over, being friends and falling in love over and over again. It's like a friendship nje, between you and your friend, or him and his friend. Good see, you're different people. You come from different backgrounds, but you're able to maintain that friendship. So I think if we can maintain that mentality and input it kulama relationships etfu and marriages, then what you're saying is absolutely true, and it would work. It definitely would work.
Yes, no, definitely, Ketsu. I think one of the things that has worked for me, and I'm going to speak about my life. One of the things that has worked for us is firstly understanding that you are different, and you do come from different backgrounds, because I think a lot of the times we do get maybe somehow confused, and we expect the person to be like us, to think like us, to
Yes,
do things like
definitely.
us, and the reality is they are not.
True.
So I think the first point of winning is to understand that you're not marrying yourself. You're marrying
Absolutely.
somebody else.
Absolutely.
So you then need to appreciate who they are, understand who they are, and embrace who they are. So
very
that's very important. Like for me, my husband was into technology. When I met him as a friend, he was into technology. I wasn't that much into technology. Not that I'm into it much now. And he taught me it was stupid things like free cell, solitaire, and we used to enjoy those things because he was good at that. I think he used to do a lot of computers. I think he was selling computers or something at that time.
Okay.
But he used that, which I didn't have, to sort of like entice me and teach me a skill that I didn't have. It doesn't sound like a serious one, but it
builds the
helped to
friendship.
build the foundation and the friendship. So it's very, very important that you embrace each other in who you are,
That's
and
very
not
true.
try and mold and shape and redesign what
Build
God
your
has
own person.
created, because that just doesn't work. I
That's
am who I
absolutely
am,
true.
and he is who he is. Yes, and it is through understanding and embracing one another that we are then able to gel and live with each other at least this long.
Absolutely true. I mean, if you have implemented that into your marriage, you got it to 16 years. That's that means it's really a working recipe, a winning recipe. I just want to touch on, or rather, ask you a question on the second point that you mentioned about time away. If maybe you can give us ideas on time away, because I have a feeling that when you say time away, people may assume that you're saying, oh, let's pack our bags and travel to SA, to the US, to wherever. And then people are just going to be like, no, that's not realistic. Asna mali. We're struggling. Taxes are very high. So I think if you can maybe give us a few ideas on that time away aspect to help the relationship.
Okay. No, I think by time away, I really meant like spend time with each other, make time for each other, because the reality is we are busy people. Like there is so much that calls for us in this life.
Yes.
Our careers, our church life, our kids, and everybody else with their problems. They require
Yes.
a piece of us.
That's true.
So if we get engrossed in everything else and not set time aside for us as a couple, then gradually you'll find that you're drifting apart. And I mean, this doesn't require packing your bags and stamping your passports and going out the border. I mean, it could mean something as simple as spending a weekend together without the kids, or movie date night, having dinner out. Like, so just saying, okay, we're not going to cook today. We're going to go to Nando's. We're going to go to KFC. It doesn't have to be an
Anything
expensive
luxurious,
or
yes.
anything luxurious. Or even, I think we used to even buy each other lollipops. Like something as simple as a yogurta. And it used to be special because it was something that you are doing for just us. And that yogurta used to be special. There's nothing special about the yogurta on a normal day.
Yeah.
But because it came from a different heart, and it came from a different person. So it meant a lot. My husband loves a lunch bar. So from time to time, if I do shopping, I'll just get it for him. It becomes special. He also likes namandongo manananga, those
Like I knew.
Yes. The ones that you get from the till at Pick and Pay. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
But if it comes from me, it becomes like something big. So it's just those small gestures as well that you do for each other that will just keep reminding the person that you appreciate them, that you do acknowledge their presence in their lives.
And it's the simplicity of what you're saying is just going back to the basics, remembering that old person that you fell in love with. Good see, if you're talking about a yogeta, I mean, probably work so mangayo nje. And
No.
well, but what I'm trying to say is, he maybe did the simplest of things at that time, the things that meant so much then, and because you're saying it came from a different heart, so it meant something else to you. It meant something deeper, other than gube leo ketaya figa nam. Then you'll be like, oh, sharp friend, So I like that you touched on that. Good see, to do the little things that you did before, the little things that matter, the little things that he likes or she likes as a partner. So that's very, very important, Margaret Dlamini. Thank you for that. There you have it, listeners. When I started the program, I thought that we were going to get into a very serious and difficult conversation, but it's as simple as that. Keeping the spark alive doesn't have to cost a thing, and it doesn't have to take so much of your energy. So we'd like to thank Margaret Dlamini for being present on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show, Ketsiwe. Thank you for having me on JF. Dear listeners, let's go have fun in our relationships and let's keep the spark alive.
It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure having you, Margaret Dlamini. So there you have it, the recipe to keeping the spark alive. This is Relationship Thursday on JF. Have a lovely weekend, stay blessed and stay safe. See you next week.